Welcome to round 2, part 2, coverage of the Southside Showdown at Jefferson Barracks for the Killer Bee Showdown.
We got Andrew Presnell, Zackeriath Johnson, Seth Wood, and Aaron Walther in a tight battle, with Andrew just holding on to a slim lead over Zackeriath. My name's Stephen Waits.
And I'm Aaron Altstadt.
And the St. Louis Disc Golf Club for everything they did all weekend, getting all the courses ready for the Killer Bee Series. 4 courses, 4 rounds in 2 days.
Hole 10, we are going to hole D, which is 549 feet. We're getting some high aerial coverage here.
Basket's right here in the middle. There's a little white stake marking it. Most players can take that right side Hyzer route to it, or with these guys, they're just going to go over the top. They're not most players. I just want to throw to the right and get down there and then throw up to the basket and hope I can get me a 3.
Zackeriath flexing one out, but he didn't like it.
Hit that
said tree.
Big oak tree. So there's a big oak tree kind of in the middle of this throw that they need to go left or right of. See, Andrew here is going to try to take that left side gap of it.
Those oaks don't let anything through.
Huge hyzer. Almost pin high right there in the brush, but anything that's across that valley up by the basket you'll be happy with. Seth 14 down right now. Big, he left a little further out or right than what Andrew had, and that's exactly, oh my goodness.
That's the pin. Way long.
That's the pin.
Aaron here going for the left gap around the tree. That oak just looks huge, even from here. Gets caught in the oak tree and lands way short of the pin.
Zackeriath's upshot. That tree really took a lot of distance off of that. Same thing for Aaron here.
Just throwing that uphill shot really takes a lot.
You got the wind rolling over the hill.
Puts it right into the basket as well. No need for unnecessary strokes.
I think we spent almost a full 3 minutes looking for this disc in the thick grass, and somebody realized it wasn't even in there. Off the hole.
Andrew really wanted that one.
Yep. Downhill putt here for Seth.
He's also got the wind swirling around in this valley.
Final birdie bid for the card.
Sends it just high.
So this hole only had 1 birdie for MPO, and it was Adam Marby's couple of cards before these guys came through. So it's a solid bird. Made up strokes on, you know, a whole field of players here, as they're even witnessing. Alright, hole 11. Straight through this tunnel gap here. The basket is down the slope, blind shot from the tee, and as you can tell, everything's away from that hill's edge. So once you crest it and you start heading down towards it, if you're not settling smooth or flat, you're going to sail on past. You don't want to be short, because then you're pretty much throwing the same shot twice to get it underneath there.
Zackeriath here lining up that forehand. Keeping it low. Just under the trees. Gets a roll. Looks like it got hung up, but about pin high. Maybe a little long.
Andrew with that backhand. Got the one tree to beat. Yeah, he threw that one low. Stopped way early. For those backhand players, there's a tree down there in the middle that kind of really plays into it. You want to go right of it, because anything left of it, you're going to be 30, 40 feet left of the pin. Seth trying the same route, and he hit that tree.
Those are going to be some tough upshot looks with the downhill sloping away from the basket.
Yeah, it's definitely the one hole you do not want to make mistakes on coming up short. Aaron's throwing down 17's fairway.
Seems way wide.
Plenty of room to play with, and look at the reward there for the lefty.
Gets a slight roll away, but he's within circle one.
I'd say Seth's still blind to the pin from here. It's behind the oak, down the hill, any putt, or any upshot. It just sails.
It just rolls away.
He's got that left to try to save par. Andrew's a little closer. He can start to see the top of the basket.
Just going to try to stick this a little short and let it skip to the basket. Skips a little past. Lands just
that roll out.
Just a little bit further down the hill than Aaron is.
So here's Zackeriath throwing his second shot from long and right of the pin. Great up.
He just wants to put it out there and not take any unnecessary strokes. Seth here feels like he needs to go for it. He has to.
You got to save the par and keep pace. Just underneath it.
Andrew also looking at a steep uphill putt.
So Andrew's got this left to save par. Seth's already up by the basket. He'll be getting a bogey. And Zackeriath's on a par. So just keep this so that nothing changes.
Sends it. Almost squirts out.
It just seems like everything's wanting to come out if they're hitting left side or right. You really need to be center mass on these baskets. Aaron with the only birdie look. Great putt. Great two.
There were not too many birdies on this hole throughout the open division here.
Definitely played with a little bit of a challenge there. I mean, hole 11 had a birdie by Alan Hooper and Scott Paul. Hole 12 here, kind of like hole 3, you're throwing out over a bunch of stuff with the basket straight away. Instead of being above you, though, the basket's kind of below the tee pad. So you need something that's going to glide out straight and just settle. There's a lot near it on the left side.
The pin positions on this course are really interesting. There's a lot of downhill sloping. There's a lot of death putts. A lot of risk reward.
It's about the best you can ask for a left-handed approach to this basket. He's going to have a downhill putt, like you were just saying.
Doesn't look like the righties have much to look at either here.
A little long there for Zach.
But he doesn't have the downhill putt that Aaron's looking at.
Definitely not an easy putt on this hole if you're anywhere but on top of it.
Andrew sending it to the right side of the tree instead of the left.
Took it out there wide right. I think it stayed out in the open.
Seth here also puts it to the right side of that first tree.
Coming in on the Hyzer. Off
the basket.
Goodness. Backside, like another half foot short, and it would have been right in the chains. So Aaron with the first putt.
Just shy. He really wanted that one.
Seth after his metal hit from the tee.
That's rough, that taking that roll away off the basket after hitting the basket. Andrew here, also looking at a death putt. If you miss this, you're rolling away quite a distance. It almost squirts out, but it stays in the basket.
Good two.
Zackeriath here.
Getting
Tricky
close,
situation.
close with the trees.
Great birdie putt.
Seth's par putt. This is for par from Aaron.
Squirts
And
out.
that fades out.
It looks.
So that's going to be a bogey on hole 12. We're going into 13 now. Playing to the blue pen, 371, par 3. Downhill all the way there, fairly open, fairly straightforward shot. There's not much to think about here. Huge crushing drive when you did not want it.
Wow. He just sent that. Andrew looking to capitalize on Zackeriath's mistake here.
He leaves it way short.
Way short.
Nearly the same distance short as Zach went long.
I guess they want to keep things interesting through these last couple holes.
Hey, that's fine. Good coverage. Makes for good coverage. You'd think that he was trying to turn it over and it just stayed out there on him and glides out. It's downhill. Doesn't seem like it's that much of a slope away, but
Seth almost had an ace run at it about 5 feet to the right, and that would have been seeking chains, basket height and everything. Aaron looking to get some strokes back here.
his two leaks out to the left.
Just flips on him.
Well, I don't think anybody's scaring the pin on this off the tee here.
Andrew looks like he's got a downhill putt. Just lofts it and just leaves it short, takes his par, and he's going to move on. Zackeriath wants this one.
Definitely a must-get hole.
Just wide. Aaron's got an uphill putt. Tricky footing. Barely misses the basket.
Seth now, he went further than past it than I thought he did. Just slipping away, it just must have stayed just off the ground.
Oh, we've had a lot of those splash outs this round.
It's kind of keeping it close though.
Yes, it is.
The disc golf gods know what they're doing. What they shall do for good tournament coverage for the rest of us.
As we notice the wind starting to pick up.
So everybody's gonna, well, I don't want to speak too early on Aaron, but now we're looking at pars around on one of the easier holes. Moving into hole 14, we're going to the yellow pin, 296 here on the side of that hill. The forehand throws it into the hill. Pretty much just stops the disc dead. Anything backhand, you run the risk of flying it down the hill long.
Another sloping hill where the basket's located. Zackeriath puts it right at the base of the hill.
It's great use of the terrain.
Andrew looking for that backhand route. Risky business. Sneaks through the tree, lands just long. In the rough.
There is a walking path going up to the next tee. Maybe if he was in there, he might have a look coming out.
Seth Wood going the same route.
Oh, this is perfect. Right at the crown of the hill.
Got an easy putt, but it's a death putt. Aaron trying to go the same route Zackeriath went. Also puts it just at the base of the hill. Andrew with a tough roll away. Low ceiling, it looks like. And he smashes it. Barely sneaks that over the rim. Zackeriath also barely sneaks it over the rim, takes his bird.
Aaron for birdie. Well done. And now we got Seth with an excellent drive. He went 6 for 9 on the front 9, and then he had a bogey on 11, so it's nice to get back even for the back 9. Hole 15 here, we're going to the yellow pin of 245. Again, just right down the middle, hit your gap, throw the disc, throw your gap getting disc right here. Definitely don't want to go long because of what's back there. It's low line, you have to be on your knees or a big straddle putt to get out of there.
We also have a lot of wind here, a lot of wind. You got an air bounce there.
Over the wind, past the basket. I think he hit a spectator who was trying to videotape it from the woodline.
Got him.
Got him.
Needs to go buy that kid a drink. An icy.
Andrew's 1800 for the tournament here. Needs to keep it higher.
Nice as a gap, gets a nice skip.
Ooh.
Right to the basket. What a great shot.
Good ground action.
It's a good play keeping it low through here instead of risking the air bounce and getting caught up in the trees. Seth also keeping it very low. Catches a little bit of shrubbage there. Ends up pin high.
Still got it there, yeah.
Aaron sends that just a little too high. Catches a tree branch.
March straight down.
Looks like he's circle 2.
Those little bushes that are trimmed in front of them, those are definitely going to be an obstruction. I'm trying to think that he might have been wanting to get the height on the disc, and in turn he sacrificed distance.
Didn't look like he got that up above the basket. Zackeriath from the woods nails the birdie putt.
Great putt, Seth.
Everybody else cashes in on their birds.
Hole 16, we're going to the C-pin, 314. Pretty much through all this, and then it's right on the right-hand side where the stake is. The gap looks daunting with as much that's there, but as long as you can get just below that limb, you should be good.
Shouldn't be any problem for the lead card here.
After a forehand throws like that.
Nope.
That metal flake destroyer.
Those valleys do make these holes interesting, though. Andrew with the turnover look. Wow, sneaks it under the big branch. That could have spelled disaster for him, but he's within circle 1, it looks like.
Within stabbing distance for a birdie. Especially with Zach up there, he wants to keep pace with him. Maintain that lead. Seth with the turnover. Just barely made it out of the gap, but still got the 4 momentum off the tree line. Aaron throwing just pretty much a straight back Hyzer.
This hole's very friendly for him.
Hold it. He's going to be down in the valley.
Ouch. You would think this would be a lefty-friendly hole. Up from the valley, puts it right under the basket. A really great up shot. That was a must get for Seth there, and he missed. Unfortunate.
Andrew has this. They go to 20 under for the tournament. Great, but Zach answers with one of his own. Going into 17, there'll be a 2-stroke difference between them. Andrew's got 5 strokes on Seth here. And he's going to have about 8 on Aaron.
Hole 17 plays over the top of a valley again. Lots of brush. Plays to the right. You got your forehand throwers and your turnover throwers here. Looks like this gap is a little tighter than you'd expect. 315-foot par 3.
Zackeriath, go rope. Avoid the limbs and he's there.
Got
He
real
knows
sneaky,
it.
looks like. Parks it.
Great throw. Just continues to put the pressure on Andrew to keep up and to play that flawless game. Great turnover bid here. Perfect distance too. He's going to be just behind Andrew. If you're chasing, you want to be throwing first. You want to be putting your putts in first. You looking at the scorecard.
I don't know. It's iffy.
Seth catches a limb on the way out of the gap, but he still clears it.
I like how Zackeriath, he's a competitor, yeah, he's a cheerleader. You can hear him in the background cheering on his competitors. Aaron hoping to lace one where he wasn't able to on the last hole.
Right through that hole.
It's a nice air bounce there, it looks like.
All right, Aaron.
Seth Wood with the uphill shot here. He's wanting to hit this.
Get back in there. Straight up. Come all the way back there. Took the tighter gap.
Aaron just left of the tree, so no obstruction here. Wind's picking up. Cashes in on that birdie.
Great putt. This is for 4 in a row from Andrew. He's birdied 14, 15, 16, and he's 4 down through the back 9.
Oh, off the front of the basket.
I think I gave him too much stats on the way to putt down. So here it is, the door's opening just slightly for Zackeriath.
Catches
Good
in on that
make.
birdie putt.
Seth makes that. He is in a battle here against Aaron for a solo third, especially after Aaron's birdie make and Seth there for that par save. Alright, here we go, hole 18. We're going to pin D, 428 OB on this back alleyway road here on and over the concrete on the right. You got plenty of vegetation you can see down the left side, but Zackeriath just needs to get close to the basket.
Mm-hmm. It's for all the marbles.
And it's not an easy approach with as much as it turns.
You know, you were asking me that question earlier. I think if I was chasing,
Look
I'd
at
want to
this
be throwing
backhand.
first.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that rolling OB.
Rolled OB and then rolls past the pin.
Insane.
We're looking at a 20-footer
From inside the brush
to tie it.
to tie it. Aaron here throwing the turnover, catches a lot of cabbage there. But it's
Another
rolling.
great turnover. Another great roller.
And we're rolling down the hill.
That's typically where these drives land. Like, anybody that's played this hole before understands how amazing under the pressure that Zach's drive was to get it up there where he's going to have a chance, a solid chance to tie Andrew, barring Andrew putting one just as close. And see, him and Aaron both are sticking them where most drives would land on this hole. It is a hard par 3.
And this wind is really
And the
swirling
wind-
through these valleys.
The wind's not helping, right?
It's amazing that they're shooting as well as they are with the wind here. Seth looks like he gets his turnover, catches the hillside, but rolls.
So everybody
way
stays in
shorter.
bounds. Seth's only got one stroke on Aaron, so 2 battles here.
Thank you. That was my robo roller.
That was fun to watch. Fun to watch.
Seth's first act. Ooh, don't go out. Okay.
Just puts it under the basket, put some pressure on Aaron here.
Yeah, I feel like everybody else here has just got nothing. It's just par options because of the out of bounds and the uphill. Like, you got the disc is gonna have to come out nose up.
See, this is where my adrenaline would be pumping. If I would have had Zackeriath's shot, I want to get up there and putt right now and not have to wait on everybody else.
Now you get to see what Andrew does.
Yep. He's just putting it right under the basket as well. With that pressure on, he doesn't have to make any mistakes here. Zackeriath,
First share of the lead.
he's open. Off the basket.
Goodness.
Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker.
Definitely tell. And he's had several of those for this round. Front 9, back 9, a lot of metal hits for birdies that didn't stick.
Sounds like one of my rounds. Finish off with some easy putts from the rest of the field.
Yeah, everybody par out from here. There were no birdies on hole 18 for MPO. Well, there you go. Saturday was Zach's day. Sunday's Andrew's day. They both battled to the final hole both days. Even took an extra hole on Saturday for the win. So our final standings for the tournament, we got Andrew Presnell winning at 20 under par. Zackeriath Johnson came in at 19 under. Seth Wood holding off Aaron Walther, finishing 15 under, and Aaron at 14 under. And then rounding out the top 5, shout outs to Brock Roller and Alan Hooper, who was on Saturday's coverage of the Rock Road Rumble, both shooting 10 under for the Southside Showdown. Again, thanks to the St. Louis Disc Golf Club for having us. Aaron, thanks for being here and being on the mic.
Thanks for having me.